Hello and welcome to the SEO plus AI show. My name is Josh, Excellence in YouTube Broadcasting Bashinsky. With me, as always, I have my co-host Greg Basani. Say hi there, Greg.
Hey guys, how are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. This is only like the fifth time we've tried to start this thing. And so today I'm doing quick SEO tips. Today I'm going to do quick SEO tips for you. I have 50 in total. I'm going to try to get through them all. I don't know if I'll be able to get through all 50 in about 45 minutes time, but I'm going to try to get through all of them for you. If you have any SEO questions, please by all means ask them in the chat or ask them in the description. A couple other housekeeping things to get over. You should like and subscribe and punch the monkey and slap the bell and kick the goat or whatever you need to do down here to make sure you're liked and subscribed to hear about all our new SEO stuff that's going on. Big, huge changes are coming up to SEO Copilot. We're working out some of the kinks, but big, huge changes are coming to SEO Copilot. It has got SEO features that no other tool has, and we're doing big, huge changes, and so that'll be really exciting. I'll be talking more about that later. Also, in a future episode very shortly, probably next week, I'll be doing the episode where we show you how they ranked to number one, who ranked to number one in our system, which there are hundreds of people who are doing this, getting number one rankings from nowhere to number one rankings. And I'll show you how you can do this for yourself in the next episode after this. Okay, so quick SEO tips I'll be getting to. So let me go fully here to my face. And also let me quickly check to make sure that I'm actually broadcasting this time. Yes, I'm actually broadcasting. Yay. And there's sound. And there's sound. All right, great, fantastic. So this is being recorded for people to watch later as well. So Greg, I'm going to go through the quick SEO tips. If you have anything to add, if you have anything you want to add to the quick SEO tips, by all means, jump in and add it. But otherwise,
Yeah, will do.
let's get right to it. So SEO tip number one is, sorry, I got to remember what I was going to say. SEO tip number one is all about the beginning of SEO. Are you suitable for SEO? Is SEO the kind of thing that you want to do? So you need to make sure that if you're going to get into SEO, that you're the kind of personality that would thrive with it. So SEO tip number one is if you have an entrepreneurial spirit and you're kind of science, you kind of think in a scientific way, then SEO might be for you. If you like rules and if you like structure and if you like a niche or a job that doesn't really change very much, then you might want to go with Google paid ads because that doesn't change very often. You'll have to pay a little bit more money, but you'll get traffic right away for paid ads. But if you have an entrepreneurial spirit and if you think more in a scientific way, then SEO tip number one is SEO might be for you. So that's SEO tip number one. SEO tip number two is to be familiar with the kinds of SEO that exist. So the kinds of SEO that exist are typically broken down into client SEO, agency SEO, which is typically doing SEO for clients, and consulting, which is all that kind of same category. And then the other category of SEO is doing SEO for yourself. It is doing rank and rent SEO, affiliate page SEO, review blog style page SEO. You could do digital real estate SEO where you rank websites and then you sell them. And so there's two kind of main tiers in terms of a job for SEO, and this is SEO tip number two. One, you can monetize it by having clients in some shape or form, or you can monetize it by working for yourself. And of course, here's a pro tip. There's no reason why those two can't be mixed and matched. You can definitely do SEO for clients. You can sell them keyword reports. You can sell them audits. You can do SEO for them. You can charge them a monthly fee to get them ranking higher. You can do one-off audits and just get charged and paid for those. There's all kinds of places you can go do that. You can do that on Upwork. You can go do it on SEO forums. You can do it in SEO Facebook groups. You can answer questions. You can have your own YouTube channel like this. You can answer questions. You can help people out. And then you can say, hey, if you want me to do it for you, here's you do it how you do it yourself, blah, 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 blah. If you want me to do it for you, here you go. I can charge you this, per item, either per page or for an hourly rate for consulting. Or on the rank and rent side, you can do any kind of ranking of any kind of page, get the leads yourself, And that's also called lead generation as well. You can get the leads yourself, and then you can either get paid per lead, you can get paid an affiliate commission, you can rent the pages out after you cold call a bunch of businesses and offer them free leads and free conversions, and say, I'll just give them to you free to start off with. And once you get that business relationship going, then you can start renting these pages out to them, and you get a recurring revenue per month. And if this is not working out, you can always sell that site later. So that's SEO tip number 2. The different kinds of main tiers of doing SEO is for a client in some kind of consulting role, or that could be an in-house job, it's some kind of employee job as well, and or you can rank for yourself, and you can monetize it in multiple ways there. So that's SEO tip number 2. Greg, do you have any recommendations or suggestions or commentary on tip number 1 or 2 while I take a sip?
Yeah, I think, from my standpoint, doing SEO has always been for my own sites and my own purpose. I've never, consulted or sold any goods or services for SEO purposes. So I'm not the best person to ask, but I think your reasoning is, spot on, making sense, good
Awesome.
advice,
Well,
etc.
I'm glad I'm more or less cogent because I'm not sure at this point because I'm still not feeling great. Let me see if there's any questions. Anybody has any questions right now? Any questions asked? No. Okay, they don't. Okay, good. Okay, so SEO tip number 3. SEO tip number 3 is the basic areas of SEO that breaks down into the technical areas of kind of how SEO works and what you do. There's 3 kind of main traditional areas of SEO for the last 25 years. There's on-page SEO or on-site SEO that kind of mean the same thing. There's off-page SEO or off-site SEO, which kind of means the same thing. And there's technical SEO, which for some reason people like to put in its own third kind of category, but really it's on-site SEO as well. On-page SEO and on-site SEO. Sorry, I guess in the next tip. So that's tip number 3. Those 3 areas, just really basically off the top of my, very very quickly. On-site and on-page SEO is more about working on your own site, building your own site, building it up, fixing it, making it as palatable as Google as possible. Off-site or off-page SEO is all about you doing SEO tactics off of your site, obviously, as you might have guessed by the name. Usually this is, backlinks, but there's all kinds of other things, posting on forums, getting your entity out there, getting people talking about you, maybe getting traffic to the site, all those kinds of things like that. And then technical SEO is usually gets into more things that, quite frankly, are not as important in my opinion. Making sure your sitemap is working. If your navigation structure is working in on-site SEO, that not really needs to be done. Making sure your robots.txt file is working correctly. A robots.txt file is a file that instructs the robots as to where they can go on your site, what they can crawl. And other server errors and things of that nature, going through Search Console, these are the things which are typically technical SEO. So that's SEO tip number 3, on-site SEO, off-site SEO, and technical SEO. SEO tip number 4, let me take a sip first, sorry.
Hey, I don't know if you mean to be showing a presentation or a list, but it's definitely just our faces, I think. So just so you know that.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. I don't have a presentation. I'm just doing this at the top of the dome.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
The presentation is all in my head. So SEO tip number 4, and sorry guys, I'm a little out of breath, so I think I'm not as healthy as I thought I was maybe to do this. Maybe I'll have to cut it off at 10 SEO tips for today. I probably will have to do, but SEO tip number 4 is on-site, do good on-site SEO. So this tip could not be stressed more. On-site or on-page SEO is probably the most important kind of SEO. For many years, people thought off-site or off-page SEO was the most important. But on-site SEO and on-page SEO is probably the most important. You need to have quality content, and you need to have the right semantic. I say you need the SHEAT, which is an acronym which stands for, it's SHEEATT, the SHEAT. That's all you need for on-page SEO is that you have to have the SHEAT. And S stands for semantics, and you need the semantic keywords on your page. H stands for helpful. You need the helpful keywords on your page. There's specific keywords that Google has multiple AIs are looking for, specific keywords that are going to look for whether your page is helpful or not, whether you have the on-page stuff that you need or not, specifically on your page. There's expertise and experience keywords that Google has specific AIs looking for to see if you have the experience keywords, the expertise keywords on your page. There's the authority keywords. You need to make sure that you're speaking about the content in the way an expert would, in an authoritative way. And there's literally words you need to have on your page that do this. There's the timeliness keywords you need to have on your page, and there's trust keywords you need to have on your page. That's the sheet. And so let me show you how you would get that here in our tool, our AI-based tool called Keyword Spy. Oh, and I forgot a step. Of course I did. That's okay. So to make sure that you have the right sheet, the semantic keywords, the expertise keywords, the authority keywords, the trust keywords, and the timeliness keywords, you need to have an AI analyze your page. And so here we are giving you your semantic score that tells you if you're saying the right entities or not. You need to say all these entities in a certain frequency. And you can see the EMQ here and the various other entities that our AIs have determined are important. And it tells you which ones here that might be missing, for example, that you need to mention. And so this tells you whether you have the semantic keywords that you might want to have. And you need to have it at a certain score. And I do a regular check in the backend database of how well our pages are ranking, both our pages and our clients' pages, in Keyword Spy, or now what's called SEO Copilot. And the statistical correlative data continues to show that you really need to be in the Goldilocks zone. You need to be in the optimized score range. And that changes niche per niche. You can be over-optimized, so you have to be very, very careful not to be under-optimized, but not to be over-optimized as well. So this is the score here you need to watch, and if it's red, you need to put it in the green. And only SEO Copilot, this is a proprietary score. No one else has this score. No one else even understands this score. They're not using the actual AIs that Google uses. We use the actual AIs that Google uses to analyze this. Let me show you where we do that. So here in the reports, we actually look at RankBrain, which is an actual Google AI. We rebuild a model for you. We look at BERT, which stands for Bidirectional Encoding Representations from Transformers. That's an actual AI that Google uses that we rebuild a model for you. Also telling you what the query intent should be and what it needs to be to ensure that you are of quality. Google just recently fired a whole bunch of quality raters, as I said they would, and now they're using AI to determine the quality of a page. It's not a human doing it anymore. So it's really important that you have an AI analyze your content to make sure that it's of quality. The neural matching AI we also do as well. I skipped this test for this one. And finally, we have another one here. We have two more here that nobody else has. TW-BERT, which stands for Term Weighting BERT. Google put out a white paper on term weighting, and so we rebuilt an AI model that will score your entities. And you see they score them all differently. And then finally, we have the query interpretation test, which Google also does something called query interpretation. For example, I don't know if you've noticed this, but when you search set up LLC, you can also rank for setting up an LLC, setting up a limited liable corporation, how to set up an LLC. You can start ranking for all these different queries. And this is because Google does something called query interpretation. And so you need to have a test analyzing what the entities are that are valid for query interpretation, because you can rank for those as well. And so look at this. This is very interesting. So let me make this slightly bigger here. You can see here that RankBrain, BERT, and query interpretation, and neural matching too, if I had run it for this, I want to do this a quickie little report, all scores the entities differently, but all the scores are tallied up to give you a final score. This is crucially important in doing your on-page SEO. This is crucially important in succeeding on your on-page SEO. As you're going to see next week, I have the stats to prove that this is what's going to boost you in Google, is having these special secret keywords. But not only is it the semantic keywords, as I showed you, but if I go back here, it's also the helpful keywords, the experience, expertise, authority, and trust, which is measured in a couple different places here. One, we measure it here in our proprietary heat score, which uses the actual questions that Google asks quality raters, because now they're getting an AI to do it. And whenever you see a low score here is where you might want to beef things up. And it's determining whether or not you actually are helpful, whether you're showing the experience, whether you're showing the expertise, whether you're showing the authority, or whether you're showing the trust. So that's very important for ranking post-October. A lot of people are having trouble with that. And then finally, we have this last score here called the spam score. And the spam score is going to be very important. We're still working out the bugs with this one. But you see there's a red exclamation mark telling you that one of your spam scores or one of yours is out of whack. And the spam score here analyzes these factors: the URL, the title, the description, the H1, and the body content. And it'll tell you whether or not your spam score is above your top 5 competitors. It'll tell you their average and where you are there. And that is crucially important. That is crucially important in determining whether you have the sheet, whether you have the semantics, the helpfulness, the experience, the expertise, the authority, the trust, and the timeliness. So that's SEO tip number 4. Was I on number 4? SEO tip number 4. Do on-page SEO correctly, and you will see it is the most important part of SEO rankings, and you will see huge boosts from it if you're doing it right. So if you have any more questions about that, email me at joshpaczynski@gmail.com or try a free trial at SEOcopilotai.com. You can try the system free for 5 days. So, Greg, do you have any comments about that?
Yeah, comments about on page. I think you probably nailed everything. I'm a big proponent of CRO now. I've seen some stuff on my site where my on page is terrible, but my CRO has, I guess, won the day. And so maybe you'll get into that later, but that's like my new thing. But your on page, that's what our tool does. Like, that's our flagship, feature, if you will. So
exactly, yeah, definitely very important. And I will get into CR later. Thank you for reminding me. I actually forgot a tip. So SEO tip 3.5. We'll just insert it earlier, and I can't believe I forgot this. Well, actually, no, never mind. I'll just keep going the way I'm going. So SEO tip number 5 is off-page SEO. Off-page SEO has a lot more to do about in 2024. Off-page SEO has a lot more to do less with buying backlinks and acquiring backlinks, and has a lot more to do about people talking about you online. You need to have buzz generated about yourself, and I go into a lot more detail about this in my SEO mastermind group, Underground SEO University. But you really need to get people buzzing about you. You need to get them talking about you. You need to get them referencing you. You need to get vetted third-party sites talking about you, referencing you. That's what people do in local as well with the NAP, with the name, address, and phone number, getting citations. You need confirmation that you are a real business entity. And that's what Google is using for off-page SEO these days. So SEO tip number 5 is you need to get the buzz. You need to get people buzzing about you. Finally, SEO tip number 6 is technical SEO. Again, technical SEO is big on other people's lists. I'm not going to spend very much time on it because, quite frankly, it's not that important. There's a couple things in technical SEO that you want to check that are going to be important. Let me quickly show you what those things are. So let me go to Search Console. And so for technical SEO, you're going to want to check these specific things. You're going to want to go to pages. You're going to want to see what's not indexed, and you're going to want to see why it's not indexed. And anything that is currently crawled but not indexed, or discovered but not crawled, that's a huge SEO problem, and you need to look at those pages and make sure they're not thin pages. Again, these are just quick SEO tips. If you want more detail about that, email me at joshbaczynski@gmail.com. But go into your search console, go into pages, and check to see if you see crawled but currently not indexed. If you do, definitely email me, and I can help you out with what you need to do further. But that's a huge problem for SEO. The next one here you want to check for technical SEO that I think is important is also you should do an overview. You should put a page in here, for example. I'll just use visix.com as a page. You need to go test the live URL. And you want to make sure that all of the resources for the page are loading. That's another big technical SEO issue, so I'll just wait for a couple seconds for it to test the live URL. So again, I went to URL inspection. I put in the URL that I want to check, and I clicked testing live URL. And then you want to view the tested page. And it's very important. You want to look at the screenshot and make sure you don't see any rendering errors or issues. And very important, you want to go to more info, and you want to make sure that it loads correctly first off, but it probably will. But then you want to check the page resources, and you want to make sure that all your page resources are loading correctly. Now, if it's just blocked by the robots.txt, that's going to not be a problem for your page resources. It is going to be a problem for your crawl budget. If you see like tens of thousands of those in here, then that's going to be eating up your crawl budget, and that's going to be a problem. Your crawl budget is the amount that Google will crawl you per month. If Google is not crawling you enough per month, then you are not going to get any rankings, right? So that really only comes into play when the percentage of resources in here that Google is not crawling is starting to equal 20 or 30 or 40% of your pages. If that's the case, then you're really starting to eat into your crawl budget, and it really will be an issue. So that is a legitimate technical SEO issue that can happen on very, very large sites. But the fact that this is blocked by robot.txt is not such an issue for just 20 of these. But if you see images that can't be loaded, if you see other JavaScript errors here, for example, that they're saying, hey, we can't load this page because we can't process this. We can't see the design because we can't process this. Then that could very well be an issue that you definitely want to deal with and take care of. Last but not least here is page experience for technical SEO. You want to go here and check your page experience, make sure that the core web vitals are all good. Check the core web vitals and make sure that you don't have any poor URLs on mobile or desktop. So that's all a good thing. If you have any poor or needs improvement URLs, you definitely should probably fix that. And then finally, last but not least, for technical SEO, you definitely want to check manual actions, make sure they have no manual actions, although I doubt you'll ever see those because I doubt that they're going to maintain a manual team from now on. Check any security issues. You wouldn't believe how many times I've found this, that Google detects a malware issue on your site and they put it here and nobody notices. So make sure you check security issues. And last for this quick tip is, actually I'll do internal links separately. So that's all you need to know for SEO tip. I think I'm at number 6, SEO tip number 6, technical SEO. Make sure you go into Search Console and you check those things out. Okay, so SEO tip number 7. Now that we know what kind of person, what kind of job SEO is, now that we know where we want to do SEO, sorry, my phone's just buzzing at me here. Now that we know where we want to do SEO, now that we know the different kinds of SEO, SEO tip number 7 is starting an SEO campaign. The start of an SEO campaign is the most important part of the SEO campaign. So SEO tip number 7 is do keyword research. Now you're like, Josh, isn't keyword research that on-page thing you just showed me where you see the boosting keywords? No. Keyword research, or niche research, some people call it, or looking for the low-hanging fruit, some people call it, is looking for the best keywords to try to rank for to begin with. You must start an SEO campaign with niche research to find the SEO keywords, to find the EMQs, the exact match query searches that you want to rank for. The last thing you should do is just guess what you should be ranking for, even if it seems simple to you. You're like, Josh, I'm a chiropractor. I'm in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I want to rank for chiropractor, Winnipeg, Manitoba. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. You think you do, but maybe you don't. Because that keyword could be too hard to go for right off the bat. Or there could be better keywords that would convert better for you, for example. So what you need to do is do keyword research to begin with. And so our AI tool does a phenomenal job of this. And let me show you quickly how we do this, doing the niche research. So let me go here. Keyword discovery is where you find the best searches to go for. And in keyword discovery, you see I've done tons of keyword discovery reports with seed keywords. And you can see we have a bunch of new features here. And this is the highest keyword revenue ballpark in the data set. We generate through an algorithm and through a complex AI that has some logic to it, just the general raw amount of money that could be behind different niches. Now, it could be off by a factor of 1 million. That's not the point. This is not promising you how much money you're going to make in this niche, right? This is just a comparative ballpark of how much money people in Google Ads makes versus how much money in AI they make, versus how much money in Adobe they make, versus how much money in PPC they make, versus how much money you might have behind in Dyson Airwrap. It gives you a general idea, and it is comparative pound for pound between this keyword and this keyword of how much money is readily available in those kinds of areas. And you might be like, Josh, that doesn't make any sense. You can make $3 million a month by ranking for Google Ads? Well, no, you probably can't make $3 million a month ranking for Google Ads. As I said, this is not at all a promise. This is just a rough ballpark on some rough numbers that I'll go through the formula in a second. But it does tell you that there's a lot of money in Google Ads, ranking for it, doing it, selling it. And this is just an example. Like you could be trying to sell Midjourney services. You could be trying to sell Google Ads services. There's a good amount of money there. If you've ever wondered, how much money is there in doing Google Ads for people? A lot of money there, right? And let me show you how the formula works. So you see, there's 5 million. Is that 5 million? That's 5 million. 5 million people are searching for Google AdVerse, and they're willing to pay $23 each. And it's up this year. So Google's own economist has determined how much money you can make when you have, based on your CPC. Google's own economist, they actually have an economist working for Google. And he estimated that you can make a 1-to-2 ratio. So that means people who are bidding on this, Google Ads, and so that's the ratio we're using here. You multiply that by 30% by 5% of this, assuming a 5% conversion, and it comes out to a pretty high amount of money. Now again, this is just an estimated revenue ballpark. It is in no way a promise of what you're going to make. But it is very useful in determining, should I rank for this keyword or should I rank for this keyword? Google paid advertising has way less people searching for it. Therefore, it makes way less money than Google AdVerse, for example. However, Google paid advertising got this level of difficulty. So it is plus 35% difficult compared to every niche in our system. And we have over 1 million data points for this now, as compared to this, which is 23% tough. So we know that Google is one of the richest companies on the planet, and this is how they make their money, is through Google Ads. And we know billions and billions of dollars flows through Google Ads, so it's not surprising that we have such a high number here, because this is no way a promise of what you can make. This is just a raw indication, apples to apples comparison between all these keywords and all the other keywords you see here to determine, do I want to get into Arborist Care Temple, Texas, or do I want to get into free SEO blog content outline? Well, it looks like there's much more money behind this. Do I want to get into Newark Airport parking, or do I want to get into LAX parking? Well, it looks like there's much more money behind this. So that just gives you a rough ballpark when you're determining what kind of SEO you want to do, what you want to rank for, and how much general and broad strokes, how much money is there. It's better than a wild guess. It is many factors of number better than a wild guess. So You can look at this. You can be like, okay, well, I want to do a site on LX parking, but I want to make sure I'm ranking for the best the best parking queries. Well, instead of trying to rank for LAX parking, maybe try LAX parking lot. That is not a tough niche. It's only average difficulty. It's actually 8 or 9% easier than every single other query in our system. So using this kind of research methodology, you can fulfill the most important SEO tip I'm probably going to give today, which is, I believe, SEO tip number 8, I think it was. Do the niche keyword research. You need to have robust AI like ours here called keyword discovery, find the best searches to go for, and you need to do that before you do your SEO campaign to make sure you're ranking for the right thing. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed our top 8 SEO tips. I'm literally going to fall over. My chest is hurting. I'm obviously sicker than I thought I was, so I'm going to have to cut it off there. Greg, do you have any final tips before we sign off?
No, I don't. I think, yeah, I want to resume this next week. Probably a good idea. Talk about some of that stuff, CRO and things. That would be great. But yeah,
Sure
you
would.
feel better, rest up, feel better, and get on this next week.
Sure. I'll try. I've been trying to get better for a month. Who knows what's going on? But okay, so thanks very much, folks, for watching. As Greg mentioned, we will have more SEO tips coming up. I'm also going to do a bunch of shorts on these SEO tips. Maybe when I'm not feeling so sick, I'll get on the YouTubes here and I'll do that. So let me quickly check to see if there's any questions here. Okay, looks like we have a bunch of questions. Steve says, Greg is at a club or something. Yeah, Greg was at the club. He's got some pumping music there.
Yeah, that's
Marcin Pirchot, I believe that's a French name. Sorry, Mark, if I mispronounced your name. He says, this is quality content, guys, and your system is quite useful. Congrats on the concept. I do need that active customer support email to sort out my issues with subscription, though. Sure, by all means, go to hello at trykeywordspy.com. I believe that will forward to Greg. You can definitely ask him questions there. Marcin says, also, what happened to the reliability score in Editor? Which reliability score are you referring to, Marcin? I can't remember. Greg, do you remember which one he's referring to? We did.
Can you repeat that again?
What happened to the reliability score in the Editor?
Oh, yeah, you requested to remove that. I guess you didn't think it was. I think he means readability, not reliability.
Readability, yes. Yeah, we removed it, but if you want us to put it back, we can definitely put it back. It's not important for ranking. I've been checking the statistical correlative data. Marcin, I think your name's Marcin? Mark? I'll call you Mark, I hope you don't mind. I've been checking. That's my that's my uncle Mark's name, and it's spelled the same way, actually. French side of the family. Spelled with a C. Anyway, we removed a couple of those to make it easier for people, because although it was useful information to know how readable your content was, maybe it didn't correlate in the back end with rankings. This correlates strongly with rankings, putting this in the Goldilocks zone. This correlates strongly with rankings.
You're not sharing your screen.
Oh, they can see it. Sorry, Greg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
This correlates.
I know it.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that, Greg. Thank you. This correlates strongly with rankings. But the other fact, this can a little bit, and this can a little bit, and this will eventually very much, especially the body content, which this one is still broken, which is hilarious. But the other ones are working great. This works great too, unless you start playing with it too much. But it's good to release this and get this going and get users using it so they can get used to it. That's going to correlate with rankings quite a bit as well, I'm sure. Marcin, but the readability didn't. So we can put it back definitely if you want. We can put it in beta tools as well. We have another area here that we use for miscellaneous AI tools. We could definitely put it here in beta tools as well if you want to see that. That wouldn't be a problem at all. Just let us know. Stephen makes a joke, just the tip. That's what she said, question mark. Haha, very funny. Mark says, how harmful to ranking is it to have multiple non-indexed pages? I'm asking because we see that number fluctuating quite heavily. It can be Mark says he's Polish. Oh, interesting. I wouldn't have thought that name was Polish. Bashinsky, of course, is my last name. I'm also partially Polish as well. Depending on what year, where was the border? My father's family doesn't remember when they moved to Canada if they were Polish or Ukrainian, although they mostly spoke Ukrainian, so I guess they're Ukrainian. But how harmful is it to ranking to have multiple non-indexed pages? It can be dangerous for sure. You should definitely email me. Let me give you my email as well. I should take a look at that to make sure that everything's fine. So I put my email there. It's joshbashinsky@gmail.com. Anybody listening to this can also email me any SEO questions at JOSH, B as in Bob, ACH, Y as in YouTube, N as in Nancy, SKI@gmail.com. Marsan says, Bashinsky is very Polish. Yes, it is. Yes, it definitely is. It is like Smith. It's like John Smith is the most common English name. Bashinsky is one of the more common Polish Ukrainian names for sure. Yeah. Okay, and then finally, so email me, Mark, and I'll help you with that. And then finally, Mark asks, I can confirm the keyword difficulty combined with final ROI and year-over-year change is very useful. It is. It is so useful to know how much money is behind that niche. And again, it's not a promise of how much you're going to make, although it is pretty accurate on some affiliate niches. They're around the 4,000 or 5,000 per month mark. It is pretty accurate. It's obviously not accurate on that Google Ads keyword. The more money in it, the more people searching it, the more it's going to inflate that number beyond reasonable expectations. So again, we are not promising you're going to make that, but we're promising it is a good comparison number to use. If you're like, do I want to spend 10 hours a day doing SEO for Newark parking, or do I want to spend 10 hours a day doing SEO for LAX parking? Well, LAX parking makes triple the money in the system. And if you can find easy keywords to rank for there, now you're in like Flynn. Now you know that's the niche I want to go for. And you've just increased your chances of success by 10 times, maybe. I've been doing SEO for 25 years, and trust me, the first thing you need to do on any SEO campaign is do niche research. So I hope that helps you guys out. I hope that helps you guys out. And I hope you guys out. Both. One or the other? I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying anymore because I feel so sick. My heart rate is like 140. That's not good. Okay. So, all right, guys. So thanks very much. I've got to sign off. Again, if you want a free trial of this new system we've just released, by all means, check it out. It's at SEOcopilotai.com. That's SEOcopilotai.com. You could try for free for 5 days. We also have very cost-effective options for just keyword discovery and or for the full system as well. I guarantee you it will boost you if you do it properly, and I have the proof. I've shown the proof previously of the last month, the last quarter in October, and I have the proof again, and I will show it to you next week, presuming that I'm not sicker than I currently am. I will show you again next week the proof, and actually it got better. Our rankings got better from last fall to now. From summer. Summer was that quarter, and I did it in October. Fall is the last quarter I'll be showing you next week, and the rankings actually got better. So our system works, guys. I know it's a little rough around the edges. We're getting designers. We're looking for a CTO. We're looking for a more robust programming team. We're getting designers. It's going to look like it will make you $1 million, and it's going to look like $1 million really, really soon. It's just growing pains of starting this thing up. It's not easy AI to engineer and to build, but we're doing a good job, and it will help you out. I have the proof I will show you next week. So thanks, Greg, very much. I hope you enjoy your coffee. Thanks, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show.